divine.
My name is Olivia.
I'm Dana.
And I'm Nina.
And welcome back to the Woke Fountain. So stay tuned, because in this episode, we will be discussing everything that we have talked about in our previous episodes. Hey guys, welcome back. If you've been a listener during the entire season, we appreciate you. It's time to get jiggy with our final episode of this season. Wow. Random fact, your body produces a glimmer of light, but unfortunately, it's invisible to the naked eye. So let's get jiggy with it. So we've talked about a lot throughout this season. And one of the biggest things we discussed was navigating our 20s. And we've had times where it's like a lot has happened in our 20s. And some of us are still kind of like discovering ourselves. So yeah, Nina, what do you think about like everything we've discussed about when it came to being in our 20s?
I would say like in essence, in conclusion, in totality that, being in your 20s, it's a rough and confusing time. And a lot of people say we should have it together, but honestly, I feel like we're not supposed to, which is okay. I feel like you should just enjoy the moment and like kind of be dependent on yourself, be dependent on your family, and be dependent on God. That's normal, and that should be life. Just trust the process.
Right. I agree. Like, I'm still finding myself and I'm still like 21, still with my mom. And I've probably changed my major a couple times, and I just added on a minor like literally 2 weeks ago. So that just shows you that I'm still finding myself, but I'm not going backwards. I'm still moving forwards. And there are going to be times where it's like, you're going to be stuck, but you have to have something that you can always go back to, where you can center yourself and remember what your purpose is. And I know we have all been there. So like, I know Divine, you've probably been there a couple times. So what are some things that like you can do where you can center yourself and like remind yourself your purpose when you like encounter those obstacles?
So it's kind of hard to explain like what going back to your center is. But for me, it's going back to where I feel comfortable, where I'm able to reset and like not have like this whole calamity going on in my head. Because like, I don't know if you guys ever have that moment that like you feel like a lot of things are rushing up in your head. It's like, oh my God, I haven't done this. Oh my God, I have to do this. Oh my God, this is this. Oh gosh, oh this, oh that. Like there's so many like things that pile up in your head and you're just like, gosh. So it's like going back to your center is just like putting you in a place where you can see everything clearly.
Humbling you.
Huh?
Yeah, it's humbling. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I see things clearly now. It's like, oh, why was I being... Because like when you're not in your center, everything's hazy. Everything seems very clouded, And this is for like everybody, like whether you're a religious person or you're not a religious person. I feel like when you're not in your center, it's like things are unclear. Because if you think about it in a more... I don't want to say theoretical, but if you think about it in a more kinetic sense, when you're in the center of something, you're able to see things clearly, right? But if you're at one point, you won't be able to see the other side. Like, do you guys know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's just like putting yourself in a position where everything is clear for you, and then you're able to like have solutions or steps to solving any problem you're in, or steps to what you want to do. And at the same time, it's like you have to be nice to yourself. You have to like be good to yourself. Like what Nina was saying earlier, is like, don't compare yourself to people. Know that everybody's time is different. And that's what going back to your center helps,
Since I know this is like a mini-so, but I really, really want to like stress this to like people who are listening, because like our platform is really growing and we see it growing. So I really like want to get stuff out there and like really like educate everyone and make them woke. And I want to stress this, like you are going to lose people, and there's people who are going to come into your life, and there's people who are going to leave. Don't try to hold on to people who leave. It's an experience. Take it and go. You're going to lose friends. You're going to build a relationship, and that relationship is going to unfortunately crumble, but that's okay. You live and you learn. And for someone who is going through something right now, You're going to get through it. I know we haven't talked about relationships this season, but we definitely will talk about relationships. And I can't wait to get into that because boy, have I learned a lot about relationships. But you're gonna lose people, and people are gonna come and go. And your support system could be one person, and that's all you need. It could be 5 people, and that's great. You don't have to have a lot of friends. You don't. It's okay.
Oh,
Small circle and a small support system. What that support system is just God or God and your friend members. It's okay. But that's what I have to say, because so many people feel like they feel like they don't have anyone when there are people around, and if you don't have a support system, you can actually go out there and seek a support system and build one of your own. There are groups out there. There are, what is it called? Organizations out there that communities, right, that are out there that support people for whatever reason, simply just wanting to be in your life just because, and so, yeah, I just really want to stress that, because people like to just hold on to memories of long lost people, but it's not worth holding on. That's just life. Life is like, it's a book. Each chapter is going to have a different setting and different characters and different villains and different heroes, so when the next chapter move on, accept that chapter and keep living.
Adding to that, people should know the difference between obsession and never giving up, because there are some people that it's obvious that you shouldn't give up on them. At the same time, some people that it's obvious that it's an obsession and these people are toxic and it's just like, bye-bye, they have done their part for you in your life. And now it's time to move on, yeah, like life moves on, just as you're saying. And just lastly from me, going back to the whole center and your purpose, it's like, make sure you don't get overwhelmed by things, because like things can be overwhelming without knowing, I don't know why lately I was just thinking a lot about the future, and I was just like, oh my God, so much stress. Like I see so much stress in my future. And, maybe say from a Black girl African standpoint, it's like, oh my God, when I get married, what type of job do I want? Or also graduate and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's just like what Nina said. It's like, it's your time. Take your time. It's better to do things at your pace when you feel like you're ready and comfortable. And again, having that support system. But yeah. Does anyone have anything to add, like Dina? Like, do you have anything you feel like you would like to share that will like help people?
You mentioned about you're stressed about the future. That's the thing. Many people focus too much about the future, and they neglect the present and forget that living in the present, and you need to focus more on that mostly. I know the future is, important, but the thing is the future is unpredictable and you don't know what's going to happen. So if you're getting too stressed about it too much, it's like, why? You don't know what's going to happen. You can't predict it. You can't stop anything bad from happening. So don't stress too much. Like I do it as well. Like I always, before I sleep, I'm overthinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to be in the future? Is my career path the thing I really want to do? Like I'm interested in it, but is it going to make enough money for me to be able to live comfortably, or like things like that? Or when am I going to move out? Stuff like that. So don't stress. Yeah, don't stress too much and neglect the present, because the present has so many things that you can enjoy.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I love that you guys were talking about that, because there was this quote that I saw long ago and I brought it back up. And it's by Lao TZU. It's LAOTZU. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm sorry. But the quote says, if you are depressed, you're living in the past. If you are anxious, you're living in the future. And if you are at peace, you are living in the present. And I find it to be very true. People could think otherwise, but I find that very true. Because when I think about making a game plan for my future in the present, I feel calm. But when we think about the future, like, oh, this and that, is it going to happen? Am I going to get this job, right? This scholarship, like, is he going to like me? Whatever. Like, you're anxious, and then when you think about the past, like you can think about it in a negative way, in a positive way, I guess, for the past. But I know from my experience, thinking about the past, I'm not in a very like good emotion. Like I'm not in a good, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm not feeling good inside. You know, I'm just kind of like, like, why am I thinking about the past? Like, why am I thinking about like what's behind me? Like, I'm thinking about like what's in front of me right now. So that's a quote that I definitely wanted to say, because like that really spoke with me, and it still speaks with me. And so that's definitely something to think. Just having to humble yourself and try to find ways to make yourself feel present. And one thing for me that makes me feel present is sometimes just simply praying or meditating, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing is people tend to focus too much on the negative and they forget about all the good things that have happened in their lives.
That's what I don't understand about human beings.
Depression and suicide and all those thoughts come in because we're focusing too much on the bad things. Because I saw one thing that humans always just focus too much on like the bad things because that's the thing that's more memorable that comes to mind. We always just think of the bad things, but the good things just comes out.
Goes by, right.
It just goes by. It's like, ooh.
that also shows us like for people who are religious, like on a religious standpoint, that also just shows you, and some people may think differently, but that makes you like think like, do I really have faith? You know, is my faith strong enough where I don't have to think too much about the negativity that has happened or is going on in my life? And like I mentioned in one of our previous episodes, it's like, dang it. I know I spoke about it. It was dealing with like God and all he has done for you and all that he has helped you go through. And it's like, he has done all of this for you, you know? So it's like, why are you still worried? You know, and he got you. And that's why I say to keep faith. Whatever you place your faith in, keep it strong and keep it going. And there are ways to supply that faith. And for my religious people, a way to supply that faith is by getting on your knees and simply praying and making yourself
read the Bible.
And if you're not ready to read the Bible, because reading the Bible can be a huge commitment for some people and it takes time to get into the team, you can simply pray, you know, just because that's a different episode, but yeah, pray. You can pray, read the Bible, meditate, pray to the universe, do what you feel you need to do to make yourself feel present and have enough faith to keep moving forward. And that's my 2 cents. Well, that's like,
yeah. I do agree with what Dina and Olivia are saying, because I don't know why human beings tend to like think more on the negative than the positive. Because like I've been watching a lot of shows, reality shows, and somebody can do 10 good things, huge good things, but one bad thing, it's like, oh, you're a human being that is
everything.
Exactly. It's like you're a human being in the spotlight, so you're supposed to be like Jesus. You're supposed to be like a saint. And I'm just like, it's not like that. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes, you know. And it kind of like, it's kind of funny when the reverse happens. Like maybe when somebody does a lot of bad, you know, and then they do good, like one good thing. It's like, oh my God. It's like, wow, and stuff like that. It's a good thing they're doing a good thing now, but like, the effect is very, very, it's just very puzzling of how human beings think. And sometimes I ask myself,
it's like reverse psychology. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like you gotta change your mindset, you know?
Yeah. It's like, are we programmed that way or are we taught that way? But you know, that'll just be a question for the future episodes.
That's a good,
that is a good topic, you know, it's just like, and you guys can like, if you have more questions or stories towards that particular situation, like the way we think, right? Like when somebody does a lot of good things and it's just like we do one positive something, a lot of good things and somebody does one negative something. Like, do you think we're taught that way or do you think we're programmed that way? I feel like it's more to society, but it's a future topic. So before we conclude, do you guys have anything else to say? Our beautiful Nina, Dina, Olivia.
And, you know, don't worry about what's to come in the future because life, you know, the next day isn't guaranteed. So enjoy the present moment and don't worry, don't stress. Like, yeah, it's hard, but you're gonna get through it. Like, you're gonna get through it. Pain doesn't last forever. And if it lasts forever, at some point it's a choice. You know, you're the one who chooses if you want to continue being depressed, you know, a whole year later, or if you want to keep looking back in the past on that guy or that job you lost or whatever. You know, you have to be the one that changes the way you changes your mind, change your mindset, you know? You're the one who chooses how you want to write your book and how you want to go about it. And that starts today. That starts like presently. That doesn't start in the future or the past. You know, so don't worry. Place that worry into the trash can. Give it to God. Give it to the universe. Give it to whoever. And you have people who are right there. It can be one person, but you have your lovely people. I have my lovely support system right in front of you.
Person.
And be grateful for everything. Please be grateful. Don't take anything for granted. I'm not taking it for granted because I know years later I'm gonna look back at this podcast and be like, yeah, like damn guys, like that was a good time. You know, don't take anything for granted. You know, so
and I'll be like,
hey.
Yeah, I'll be like, thanks guys for making me do this podcast. Like, I just opened the group chat one day and it's like, yeah, Divine, we're doing a podcast. Your name is included. And then I see my name and everything. I'm just like, whoa, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Stay educated.
Take risks. Take risks. Please.
Yeah.
Please take risks.
Going, like everyone has a purpose. There's a reason for everything. Don't hold on to things. Don't think too much. Just keep going.
Keep going, because life is going to keep going whether you like it or not. Time is going to keep ticking. The day is going to keep moving. Sun going to keep going. The moon going to keep coming. Just got to keep going with it. You know.
That's okay. Sorry, I just gotta add, Dina and Nina, my girls, y'all look very nice today.
I love Dina's shades. Like I've been like looking.
You look like a whole meme, bro.
I look at her shades the whole time.
You know, with the do-rag. Olivia, I like your hair. Yeah, I feel like I'm just the oddball out. Like,
you're
just like
you're the Tweety bird.
The what?
The Tweety bird.
Oh, I'm poor pussycat. The poor pussycat. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in today. If you have anything you want to say, so let's go to our social media and write your stories, comments, share. Love you. Stay woke. Thank you for tuning in.
Sorry, guys, that I have to listen to this. I'm very sorry.
Keep quiet, Dina.
Thank you guys for joining us so much, and thank you for your impression, Divine.
Okay, I'm still working on it, but it's all right. Okay. Stay. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today.
Stay tuned for season 2. So many great episodes and topics to come.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Coming for season 2. Yeah, everybody deuces too.
Yeah, I wanted to add on to like what you said about what was it? My train of thoughts.
It's okay. I talk a lot. My goodness.
You said something very important where you talked about, what was the thing you said again? Sorry.
Which one? Center support system?
No, it was
Matter and building people up.
No.
2,000 years later.
So like I know Divine, you've probably been there a couple times. So what are some things that like you can do where you can center yourself and like remind yourself your purpose when you like encounter those obstacles?
Honestly, that's a very, very good question.